gentlemen, Jeff Newton here with National VA Loans. The contact us at National VA Loans is 855-956-4040. Of course, check us out online at nationalvaloans.com or click one of these spots right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That will keep you current with all the up-to-date information from the VA. All right, guys, today real quick, I want to jump into a couple things. Number one is the 5 mistakes to avoid when applying for a VA home loan. There are more than 5, of course, but these are 5 that we see quite often, and I'm going to add a 6th at the end, so stay tuned for the 6th one, because the 6th one's a pretty big one, actually. It just didn't quite make the list. But I want to start with this, and the most important is waiting to find a mortgage. Okay, for those of you that have watched other videos and stuff like that, or talked to any of our VA specialists here, we're going to explain to you, or you've probably heard us say, the most important part is getting pre-qualified or pre-approved. It is true, it is. It is one of the most important aspects of what you're going to do when it comes to buying a home, because that's where the money comes from. All right, so the reason we want you to get pre-approved or pre-qualified first is so that we know exactly how much home you can buy. Okay, because that's one of the most important things. Now, we can go back a little bit further and even look at budgeting and things like that, which is something that you're going to want to do, prior to getting into that pre-qualification stage, or actually with that pre-qualification stage, budget to see how much you can afford and things like that. But again, it's a little bit down there on the list, so we'll touch on that in just a second. But to get pre-qualified, of course, you can do it a couple different ways. Number one, you can give us a call, 855-956-4040. Any of our VA specialists will be happy to get you pre-qualified, go through eligibility, answer any questions, get an idea on price ranges, on payments, and things like that when we add in taxes and insurance, so you can get an idea of the whole scope of the product. So you can call in and do that, of course. Or if you'd like to go ahead and fill out and complete a mortgage application, because it's nice and easy, you can do it right from your phone, you can do it right from your tablet, you can do it right from your desktop, whatever's simplest for you. But the easiest way to do it is just to go to www.nationalapplynow.com. Okay, you can fill out a complete application, and one of our VA specialists will get back to you to go over everything. But getting the pre-approval is so important, because that's what gives you the leverage and the power when you go out to make an offer on a home. Okay, next, and this one I added in here because, because in VA loans and VA home loans, VA purchases, VA real estate, things like that, there's already enough information out there that's wrong. And I hate saying someone's wrong, but it's just wrong. It's just not the right information, and it's because there is a lot of confusion in there, and there's of course a lot of people out there that think they know what they're doing. So the reason I added not using a knowledgeable VA agent as one of your biggest mistakes is because using a VA real estate agent, or an agent that's a real estate agent that is knowledgeable in VA, whether they're veterans or not, is important, because they're going to know how to kind of maneuver through the program or the process. A lot of times you hear out there how VA loans are so much more difficult, and the appraisal process is harder, or all the different stuff out there. But that's where not only a VA specialist in the mortgage industry can help you, but a VA knowledgeable real estate agent can really come into play and help guide through some of those waters, because they'll let you know that it's not as hard as everyone thinks. It's not as difficult. It's not as restrictive as what a lot of people think. It's really not. Millions of VA loans get done every year because it is a great program, and it does allow the veteran to qualify for quite a little bit. So, number 3, not thinking of your home as an investment. This is something we just did a couple other videos on this, and we've addressed this a number of times. But I'm going to give you a real quick story. We have a new active duty service member, actually, Air Force. Navy. He is getting transferred, and he's moving to Mississippi. Well, he understands that Mississippi is not going to be his final spot. He knows he's going to be going from there and moving on, and possibly growing a family and things along those lines. But what he does, and what we talked about with him, was this home that you buy in Mississippi, where you're getting stationed at. Make sure that when you do it, you give it the eyes of, what can I do with this in a few years when I'm ready to move, or when I'm ready to sell? Is it something I want to sell, or is it something I want to rent out? And keep that in mind when you're buying. Not everyone's buying the forever home right away. Some people are buying their first, their second, but not their forever. And you got to think about, what am I going to do with this in the future? Is it going to build value? Is it something I do want to rent out and possibly earn income off of? Think about those things as you're starting out instead of after the fact. So, and again, this is something that one of our VA specialists, 855-956-4040, any of our VA specialists can kind of help and go through with you, discuss it all, and go over all of it with you. Number 4, waiving inspections. First of all, this is where number 1 and number 2 really come in, okay? Because number 1 and number 2, if you find the right mortgage lender, National VA, Leader One Financial, they're not going to let you waive inspections. You find the right real estate agent, they're not going to let you waive inspections either. Now, you will have some mortgage specialists out there, and you will have some real estate professionals out there that will tell you that waiving inspections is okay on a VA because the VA does such an in-depth appraisal. That's true, they do an in-depth appraisal, but they're not looking at things that a home inspector is going to look at. Okay, the home inspector is going to find the things that a VA appraiser, or any appraiser for that matter, may not find. They may find, settlement in the foundation. They may find, there could be a million things that, a loose board on a roof, or, where there's a crack in the foundation. There's a lot of things that a home inspection is going to find that maybe a VA inspector wouldn't find when it comes to the appraisal. So do not waive inspections. I know they're not cheap. It's a crazy how much more they've got. They went from, you remember inspections being $150, and now they're $300 and up, depending on the size of the house and the location of where you're at. So a lot of that demographic does get into play at that point, but it's still worth it. Do not waive home inspections. No VA specialist or mortgage professional would ever tell you to or advise you to waive inspections. Unless it's a new build, then probably, yeah. But keep that in mind when you're doing this. Next is buying above your budget. Okay, well, this really rolls right back up in here to number 1, all right? But the fact is what you can afford on paper may not be what fits into your budget, okay? So think about that. On paper, we may look at a file and be like, hey, great news, we can get you approved to a $2,500 a month payment. And you're thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe that's right. But you really only budgeted for $2,000 a month. Well, now you got to figure out where that $500 is coming from. The one thing that we don't want any veteran or any of our customers to ever do is to have to work just to pay for that house. All right? You want to be able to live and enjoy your life a little bit. Do not set yourself into a position where you're grinding it out every day just so you can pay for that house. Okay? Leave yourself a little bit of breathing room. Now, we are in a market where rates are a little bit higher and they're going to come down, so you could eventually see your payment come down, and I understand that. But again, use your sense, use your logic. You know your budget better than anybody, so think about what it is, see what you get pre-qualified for, and then let's look and see what fits into your budget. And if you're working with the right VA specialist, they will definitely help you with all that. They will go through it. I mean, we get line by line sometimes because we don't want to put, last thing we ever want is any of our veterans ever foreclosing on a property. That's the last thing we want. All right, so our VA specialists here at National VA, 855-956-4040, will help you with all that, help you sit down. Be good if you have the budget kind of set up so you know where your bills are. And I'm talking from the Hulu subscription to the cell phone bill to the car payment to all of it. Figure out what it is, figure money in, money out, and that way you'll know where your budget is so you don't get yourself in a situation where you can't afford your home or you're just grinding every day to pay for that house. Okay, so I've got a 6 and a 7. 6, once you've been pre-qualified for the home loan, okay, and you have got a contract on a loan and you're pre-approved and the loan is in process and it's working, do not take out any additional credit, okay? Don't take out a car loan, a house loan. The one that we see, honestly, not as much anymore, because I think not only is the general public better at it, but we're also better at it as mortgage professionals of letting you know, don't go out and buy furniture. I know, believe me, I just bought a house last year also, and the one thing my wife and I both want to do is buy new furniture. But wait, okay? Hold off. Get the home loan closed, because that's the most important thing, all right? Get the loan closed, and then buy the furniture. Or, do the upgrade, or finish the basement, whatever it may be, but get the loan closed first. It's kind of like on a car. You don't want to go out and buy $2,000 rims if you don't own the car yet, all right? Same kind of thing here, all right? So make sure you do that. Make sure you avoid taking out any additional credit, you avoid spending out any additional money, and adding anything to your credit report, because it can throw a wrench in a deal. Now, good mortgage people, they'll figure out ways through it, but try not to do it, okay? Just once you're pre-approved for a home loan, leave it at that. Let's get the home loan completed, and then you can do the things you need to do. All right, that was number 6, and again, that's an addition on our end because it is definitely something we see happen. Now, thank goodness, with education and knowledge and all the information that's out there, we've all gotten a little bit better at that, so we know what to kind of try and avoid. But again, these are the things you want to avoid. You want to avoid waiting to get approved for your mortgage. If you can, you want to avoid not using a knowledgeable VA agent. Again, someone that knows and understands the product. Of course, if you don't have a knowledgeable VA agent, no matter where you're at, give us a call at 855-956-4040. One of our VA specialists will help put you in touch with a knowledgeable VA agent. In fact, a lot of them are veterans themselves, and we have a great network nationwide for this specific scenario. So, number 3, not thinking of your home as an investment. Remember, use that house as a financial tool because that's what it is. It's a financial tool. Use it as such. Number 4, waiving inspections. Never, ever. Do not waive inspections, all right? Get a home inspection every time. It's what you need it. Just get the home inspection. And number 5, buying above your budget. Of course, that one just makes sense. Number 6, you guys know what it is. Don't go out and get a bunch more credit after you get pre-approved for your home loan. All right, folks, hopefully these tips will help you and let you kind of understand. Of course, if you have other questions or you want to get pre-qualified or pre-approved for your home loan, give us a call at 855-956-4040. Talk to any of our VA specialists here. They're always waiting and ready to talk to you and answer any questions they possibly can. Of course, if you're ready to get pre-approved right now, you can go to nationalapplynow.com, fill out your home loan application, and our VA specialists will get back to you. Folks, until next time, remember these tips. Thank you for your service, and God bless.